business, and today I am going to be taking you through McGill's Big 3, which are 3 exercises that you can do every day, which are really going to help you manage and mitigate back pain. So if you suffer with back pain, these 3 exercises are going to become your go-to series every day that are really going to help build strength, stamina, endurance, decrease pain sensitivity, and just improve your confidence surrounding that area and the movements. So the first exercise I wanted to take you through is the bird dog. Now this is one of my absolute favorites. It features all the time in our Pilates classes, and we use it with our patients in the studio too. Now the function of the bird dog is it builds amazing strength in the abdominals, in the core, in the back, whilst also building fantastic stability in the hips and the shoulders, and it really gives you that global sense of abdominal control. So we're going to set it up on all fours. You start on all fours. Now, it's absolutely essential that you distribute the weight in a way that feels really parallel to the floor and comfortable. It might be that your hands are slightly different in terms of where they feel comfortable, but above all things, you want to maintain that lovely sensation of looking down towards the mat and everything being lovely and evenly distributed. So first off, we're going to do half. One arm is going to extend away, elongating and lengthening, and then you just gently take it back to the center. Other side. Really stretch and extend. You'll notice the spine stays lovely and long, the abdominals supporting that spine as we extend away and we bring it back to center. There's no rocking, there's no rotation. I'm just decreasing my base of stability. Now, the option that we can do that is the softest in terms of back pain is continue to keep that foot on the floor as you slide out, and then you bring it back to center. Other side, you slide away and you take it back to the center. And I want your focus to be really maintaining that lovely sense of distance between all those points of contact with the mat. Now you can join that together. Opposite arm, leg slides away, keep that spine lovely and long, and then you take it back to center. So you will notice there is no wild swaying or excessive movement in the back. I am lifting my abdominals and really smoothly working in and away into that lovely movement. So if that feels comfortable, you feel in control of your hips, your shoulders and your spine as you move through the series, what you can do is start to add a little bit more load to the movement by lifting the legs. So it's exactly the same ideology. The only difference is instead of sliding the knee, you just elevate and elongate the leg behind you. Now, common things I see here, people hook, they lean over to one side rather than keeping their hips facing the floor. Really common, because to find the stability and the balance, it's quite easy to roll over. So set those hands up, soft elbows, long spine, lift into that lovely strong midsection. Opposite arm, opposite leg extends away, and then you take it back to center. Other side. So really think flow, think smooth, think easy. Work with a lovely natural breath pattern as you extend away. Another common mistake I see is people like to look up to the ceiling when in reality you want just the eye line to be over where your fingertips would be, and I want you to think about gently dropping the chin and lengthening through the back of the skull. So in terms of rep range, I would go for 10 on either side, and I would want to be repeating that 3 times. So 60 reps in total, 10 on either side 3 times. So the second exercise I wanted to talk you through is the side plank. Now this is just amazing for building strength again in the center, in the back, shoulder stability too. Again, a real mainstay in our Pilates. So what I want you to do, we've got tons of versions of this, we're going to start at the beginning. So the palm faces up and the elbow sits directly underneath your shoulder. Your knees are fairly close in to begin with, and you can either place your hand on your center or your hip, being super mindful not to roll this shoulder forward. Now I'm exaggerating, but you might find it wants to shift you forward. So you want to draw it back and you want to really drive that elbow into the floor. Eye line stays forward, and then from there you just lift the hips off the floor, really thinking about working into center, round the back and into the bottom. Now, if you want to, you can bring that arm overhead, and that I find is helpful in terms of not slouching. So it just allows you to find that length in the spine as you come up nice and tall. So from here, you're gonna hold it for about 10 seconds, and then very gently, you would just deload. So you don't galumph, you just soften that body down to the ground. In terms of progression, from here, you could either extend that top leg, which is gonna make it a lot more challenging, or you can bring your feet into a wide base, and then you can work up onto your toes. Again, more challenging in terms of abdominals and back, but again, no longer than 10 seconds, and then knee down to deload, bottom comes down. So we're going to do it on the other side, just so we're even, and just to give you another chance to look at the setup. So elbow under, knees under, palm faces up. From here, hand is on your hip or is extended away, and you work those hips off the floor, having that sensation of lifting into that center. So that there is option one. Here is option two, and then I favor a wider base in terms of option three, because it is easier to find the balance, and then you can really focus into those abdominals, into the bottom and into the back. So again, 10 seconds, gently knee comes down, deload. So what are we achieving there? We are building a stability and strength in the hips, a massive abdominal and back contraction, as well as really finding that stability in the shoulder as you plant that elbow into the ground. Things to be mindful of: don't let the shoulders hunch, don't let the hips drop forward. So as you come up into the move, think lovely long body, think lovely strong brace, and just think again about that beautiful sense of elongating through the crown of your head so that you access those muscles in a way that is really safe and really effective. In terms of reps for your side plank, I would do 3 sets of 10 seconds on either side. And so the final of the big 3 is the curl up. Now, of all of these 3 exercises that we've discussed today, this is the one that I see go wrong the most. And it tends to happen because people try and lift with their jaw and their chin instead of thinking about working from their center and their abdominals. So the way we offset that, the way we combat that, is I really want you to allow those heads to melt and soften into those hands. So rather than thinking about pulling yourself up with your head just comes off the ground because it is attached to your body. So you're going to set it up on your back, laying down into the mat. Again, head, shoulders, spine, hips, pelvis, everything is really connected through the floor here. The hands are going to support the head, and this is where I want you to really pay attention. So first off, just think, head melts and is heavy. So I want you to visualize an atlas stone at the world's strongest man, a big heavy ball. I want your head to feel like that in your hands, so to feel like it's really cradled and heavy in those hands. So from here, I want you to breathe into the base of your tummy, inhale. And as you exhale, I want you to imagine you are peeling yourself off the floor from your breastbone. And so you look over those knees and then very gently melt back down into the floor. So you will notice it's not a big movement at all. Inhale. As you exhale, you brace those tummy muscles, you peel from the breastbone, you look over those knees, and then again, you just allow that arc to come back down to the ground. So things that I see, people try and lift with their chin and their head to find the height. That is where that heavy, soft head comes into play. So you breathe, inhale, and as you exhale, visualize from the sternum, from the breastbone, that you are lifting yourself up. The head is just coming along for the ride, and then you melt back down into the ground. And the final trick, I like to deactivate the head, the face, the cheeks, the chin, the jaw, is you give me a big horsey breath as you come up, and then inhale on the way down. So that there, the curl up, is amazing for building the most fantastic strength in the abdominals, but it also starts to take your spine into a little flexion, which again is brilliant in terms of desensitizing the area and just actually bringing your spine into some different movements and normalizing that so it starts to feel really comfortable and really safe. The horsey breath, breathing through your cheeks, just allowing that breath to come out through those lips, like this, stops you bringing your teeth together and trying to lift from your face. It is amazing how many people try to do the latter. So really allow that head to feel heavy in those hands, allow the face and the jaw to be soft, and the work happens from the breastbone as you peel off the ground really smoothly on the way up. As you exhale, you inhale, you deload, you take it back down to the floor. So that there in terms of rep range, I would recommend 15-ish reps, 3 lots, but again, you just have to use the rep ranges as a guide to inform your practice. Because if you start to fatigue and if you start to hoik from the neck and the jaw, then again that ceases to be a positive movement. So again, rep range really up to you. You might have to build some capacity to tolerate that load, so it might mean that you start with 5 or 6 reps, you work up to 15 over an extended period of time. So guys, I hope you found that useful. I hope you found it interesting. Now these exercises, I would absolutely recommend doing them every day, slotting them into your day at some point, just to really maximize the effectiveness of the routine. And play around with the rep range, play around with the intensity, but just make sure your focus is on specificity, executing them beautifully, and actually when you do the movements, really trying to retain that sense of relaxation and ease. So it doesn't feel threatening, it doesn't feel frightening, you actually really feel in command and in control of your body. So thank you for watching today, guys. If you have not yet liked and subscribed to my channel, I would really appreciate that. And until I see you next time, please look after yourselves, stay well and stay safe, and I will see you soon.